What's up? This is Dharius Daniels, and in this video, I am going to teach you about 3 lies that are limiting you. Stay tuned. It's time for you to break these limitations. Listen, I don't know if you've thought about it this way, but a lot of the things that are limiting us aren't really limitations. What do I mean by that? I mean that sometimes the limitations aren't the limitations. Sometimes what we believe about the limitations are the limitations. You know what I mean? So let's say if there's something I want to move that I have the ability to move, like a chair I want to move or some object I want to move. I got the ability to move it, but I don't believe I can move it, so I don't even try. So this means I'm limited. Not by an actual limitation. I'm limited by what I think about the limitation. If I think the chair's too big, if I think the chair won't move, if I think I'm too weak, then maybe it's not always my weakness. It's not always the size or the strength or of the issue. Sometimes it's what we believe about it. So listen to me. Lies are limiting. Lies are limiting. If it is in fact true that you shall know the truth and the truth makes you free. If the truth makes you free, then logically it means that which is untrue keeps you bound. And bondage doesn't always feel like bondage. Bondage doesn't mean you can't move at all. Bondage means you can't maximize your movement. We've had several dogs in my home, and from time to time, we've had to put dogs, especially when they were younger, on leashes. And when we put dogs on leashes, it doesn't mean that the dog can't move. It just means that the dog can't maximize the movement. And it can be that way in life. And sometimes we are leashed, listen to me, to lies. We're leashed to lies, because if we treat a lie like it's the truth, then it behaves in a way, or we behave in a way, where the lie becomes truth. So really quick, what I want to share with you is I want to share with you 3 lies that may be limiting you. Dharius, where did you get these from? Well, these are lies that in one way or another I've had to help people work through and break through in the coaching space. As I have attempted to coach people into best versions of themselves, these are 3 of the most frequent lies I've had to help people work through so they can get to where they've been called to go to. So I want to give them to you really quickly, and I'm going to get out of your way. Here's the first one. The first one is this. First lie that may be limiting you is this. Ambition is inappropriate. Yep, I said it. I meant it. Ambition is inappropriate, isn't it, Dharius? Absolutely not. Ambition is not inappropriate. Now, there are different types of ambition. There's what's called selfish ambition. And where there's selfish ambition, that can turn into all sorts of selfish behavior and self-sabotaging behavior and keeping people down in order for you to ascend to the top. It leads to valueless living. It means a person will do whatever they feel like they need to do to get what they want, and they don't take into consideration who's hurt by it. Yeah, it's selfish ambition. The Bible calls selfish ambition vain ambition. It's like, it's ambition about stuff in the long term that really doesn't even matter. It's ambition about things that are really not going to give you what you think they're going to give you. So of course there is a selfish ambition, a vain ambition, but that doesn't mean all ambition is selfish. I believe ambition is a gift God gives to you so you can step into greatness. You can't do anything great without ambition. Let me put it this way. You can't even become a better person without ambition. And I think we would agree, right, that we need to have been called and created to be better versions of ourselves, greater versions of ourselves. This is what I'm saying. That cannot happen with a desire without a desire on the inside that says, I want to be better. Ambition doesn't mean you are unappreciative of what you have. Ambition simply means you've discerned that you deserve more. So I want you to debunk that myth and release yourself from the limitations of that lie. Second lie, greatness is selfish. I think some people think greatness is selfish is because they confuse and they conflate greatness with fame. And I don't even think fame in and of itself is selfish. I think fame sometimes becomes a byproduct of you just doing something really well. Or fame can be, in today's era and age, fame can just be a result of you doing something that just goes viral, that a number of different people are interested in, you know what I'm saying? So fame in and of itself is not evil. Because Jesus, here it is, frankly, Jesus was very famous. And I know some people have difficulty attaching the word fame to Jesus. I'm not talking about Jesus is famous now. We know he's famous now. Jesus was famous when he was alive. Listen to this. I want you to listen to this. He fed 5,000 people, not counting women and children, who were sitting all day listening to him teach. So there were thousands and thousands of people literally standing and sitting in grass listening to him teach. That's a degree and a dimension of fame, which at its core is notoriety, which in and of itself isn't evil. Sometimes it is just like the fruit. Sometimes fame is the fruit of people being greatly impacted by you or greatly interested in you. So it's okay to say, I want to be great, because just because somebody's famous doesn't mean they're great. And just because someone's great doesn't mean that they become famous. But sometimes greatness does lead to notoriety, which is fame. And there are degrees of fame. There's, dimensions of fame. There's like fame in your sector and, fame in your industry. But the point that I'm making is we shouldn't conflate fame and greatness, because what's greatness, Dharius? Greatness is just a commitment to properly maximize your potential. It is you saying, I refuse to mismanage or be a poor steward over the potential that's been given to me. Elton Trueblood said this: intentional mediocrity is sin. Like, it's the equivalent of saying to God, you should have taken what you gave me and gave it to somebody else who was going to do more with it. Greatness is not selfish. Greatness is proper stewardship. I think every person has a moral obligation not to be me, not to chase fame, but to be the best version of yourself that you can. Watch this. And not only be the best version of yourself that you can, but to do the best work that you can. I have an obligation, if God's given me potential, to be the best speaker I can, to be the best coach I can, to be the best leader I can. I have an obligation to say, I want to get as best as I possibly can in this area. And that doesn't mean comparing myself to anyone else, but it does mean comparing myself to me. It means comparing today's version of me to yesterday's version of me and asking myself, am I doing the things to actually get better? Because as I get better, if I step into greatness, then it means I can impact and influence other people in great ways. So it's okay to want to be great. And last but not least, here's the final lie that maybe limited some of you, and that is income is evil. Income's not evil. Now, there are ways we can get income that's evil. And some people have different perspectives on this. Some people say, income is amoral. Some people say income is moral. I say the morality of it is based on whose hands it's in. It matters what you do to get it. Are you exploiting? Are you deceiving? Are you conniving? Are you lying? But just because you do a lot, make a lot of it, doesn't mean you're greedy. Sometimes it means you're great. I'm going to say that one more time. Just because you make a lot of it doesn't mean you're greedy. Everybody makes a lot of it. They aren't greedy. It may mean that they're great. It may mean that they do something that people are interested in or impacted by. And I want to say that, interested in or impacted by. So people may not be impacted by professional athletes in terms of their place. Some people are impacted. They're inspired by them. They become a picture possibility for them. But for most of us, we're interested in them. We're entertained by them. And because so many of us are entertained by them, we're willing to invest in that. They get compensated because there's just unique interest. Like, I like to play video games, but 20,000 people are not going to gather in an arena to watch me play Xbox. Like, it's not happening. So it doesn't mean the athlete's greedy. It just means they're doing something that a lot of people are interested in, and they're good at it. So the morality of money is based on whose hands it's in. You can use it to fuel habits and hurt people, or you can use it to take care of your parents. You can use it to feed the hungry. You can use it to clothe the naked. You can use it to be generous to the people in your life that you love the most. Don't be limited by these lies. Here's what John Wesley said, and this is my financial philosophy. Wesley says, make all you can. Wesley says, save all you can. And Wesley says, give all you can. Don't be limited by the lie that income is evil. Don't be limited by the lie that greatness is selfish. And don't be limited by the lie that ambition is inappropriate. Take the limits off.